was gonna be gone.
No, not that I remember.
Me either.
You shouldn't have to worry. He's retired now, so he's got all kinds of extra time.
Don't tell me that, you don't. You just fill it up.
That's my understanding.
Kind of when you get off your schedule, you lose track of time, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
Did
That's what I've
you
heard.
see him outside?
I did not
No.
see any other vehicles.
Wait a minute or two, or go ahead and start.
I'd say start,
He can
yeah,
come in.
5:31.
Okay. All right, it's 5:31-ish. I'll call the meeting to order.
Perfect.
Roll call,
Kathy McGrath,
Here,
Leo Thomasgard,
here.
Carrie Hildebrandt, I am here.
Crystal is ill and John is en route, so. Okay. Consider approval of the agenda.
so moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda's approved. Report from student representatives.
Hi, I'm Abby Fletcher. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Amber Martinson and I'm a junior.
Right before kicking off winter break, the middle and high school went to Rogers Cinema for the annual holiday movie. The students were able to choose between Zootopia 2, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Avatar Fire and Ash. Everyone had a great time and the students were excellent representatives of our school. It's a tradition that we've done for many years now and we hope to continue in the future.
Before break, high school student council got together during a couple Blackhawk periods and made Christmas ornaments. After they were all put together, student council members walked around the school and passed them out to all staff members. We also went to the elementary school and handed them out to the staff members there, and also walked around the neighborhood and handed them out to community members. This is a yearly tradition that we hope to continue for years to come.
In the next couple of weeks, Student Council is getting ready for another yearly tradition, the Valentine's Day Crush Sales fundraiser. During the lunch periods, high school Student Council members will be selling Crush soda and Valentine's treats for all students to purchase. At the end of the week, Student Council members will pass out all the purchased sodas and treats for every student.
Last week, our NHS chapter began a new problem called Blackhawk Buddies. It aims to strengthen our school community and build relationships by pairing middle school students with a high school student to meet once a week in Blackhawk time. They can hang out, play games, chat, color, or work on homework. So far of the program has been successful. NHS has also began collecting formal dresses to do a dress exchange for the upcoming formal dances.
HOSA recently attended the regional competition where 12 students competed across 6 categories. These results will come out soon on the 20th. They will know if anyone has qualified for the state competition in April. Last month, HOSA also went to the elementary school to teach proper hand washing techniques with the glow-in-the-dark soap. The kids were very excited and learned a lot. Fundraising continues for the HOSA conference in April as well. Moving on to athletics, the middle school girls had their first basketball practice last week Monday, and they will have their first game at home versus Rochelle on Thursday night. The high school boys and girls teams are about halfway through their season. The boys currently sit with a 3-6 record, and the girls currently sit at 2-9. With plenty more games to go, both teams are hoping to get more wins tackled on their record. If you haven't had a chance to come to a home game, there are plenty of time to come watch and cheer on our Blackhawks. Thank you for listening and hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls.
I'd like to hear about those Blackhawk buddies. Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's a little bit of a struggle sometimes, but it's going good.
You have to work with the younger students, and sometimes that's a struggle.
Well, it's the more problem. So
No,
they don't have that, do they? Sometimes.
Thank you so much for
thank you, girls.
coming in. The president's report, 4 of our 5 members are here. Crystal is absent tonight. Our next board meeting is set for Wednesday, February 11th at 5:30 or 5, depending on whether there's an executive session or not. Administrative reports, Mr. Bina for the elementary school.
Good evening, and good evening to all of our guests. Welcome, thank you for coming out this evening. Some updates for the month of December and early January here at Ed Hoyer Elementary School. The elementary school character trait for January is perseverance, a great trait that we all need to continue to be mindful of. Perseverance is defined with examples, quotes from famous individuals, and is discussed each day during our morning meetings and over the morning announcements. Mid-year academic standardized assessments are currently taking place here at our elementary. Data that is collected from our assessments will be used to adjust our intervention groups and to differentiate our curriculum in the classrooms. Next Friday night, January 23rd, the Port Edwards Parent Organization, or PEOPO, as you may see, is hosting its first ever Kids Trivia Night for our elementary families. They thought this would be a fun new idea, a way to get more families into seeing our building and have some fun. Port Edwards students and families will have the chance to have a friendly competition with each other to see who has the sharpest trivia skills. So if you'd like to try your hand at trivia, that is next Friday night here at the elementary school from 6 to 7 o'clock. The January Young Authors event will be held next Thursday, the 22nd at 12:15 right here in the library. And our January Blackhawk Families program will take place on Thursday, the 29th at 8:45. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate our winning classrooms for the December Good Housekeeping Awards. Our Good Housekeeping Awards is an award that was started by custodian Patrick Arndt, and it's awarded to classrooms each month. It's a traveling trophy along with Glazers from Quick Trip, the winning classroom that keeps their room the tidiest, the fewest scraps of paper on the floor, the neatest desks, the cleanest desks, and things like that. So we always have a winner on the north end of the building and a winner on the south end of the building. For December, it was Mrs. Henny's kindergarten classroom. And for December, it was Mrs. Hofferman's third grade classroom. So congratulations to those classes. Finally, from the elementary, the Opera for the Young will once again be performing here in midwinter. This year, their performance is called The Elixir of Love. Very timely for the month of February. That'll be February 19th at 1:30 in the elementary cafeteria. Elementary music teacher Mr. Erdman has been working with our elementary music students on the song list that accompanies the Elixir of Love, and students from our school will be chosen to participate in the play alongside the professional performers. So again, the Elixir of Love is February 19th at 1:30 here in the elementary. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bena? Moving on to the middle school, high school report, Mr. Steltenpohl.
Going back to the Blackhawk Buddies, Mrs. Peters started it, and it's a lot of our high school kids that need service hours in helping with their scholarships and their applications to college. I went in there the other day and I said I'm kind of getting soft in my old age a little bit, but there were a whole bunch of fifth graders in there with some of our high school kids, and some were working on homework, some were working. They were playing a board game together. Some were just sitting there talking, and they were talking about what they did on their weekend. And I'm like, it was just a really, really neat thing for our high school kids to do, and a good resource for our fifth grade kids to work with those high school kids. So
And no phones were out?
no phones.
Good.
Oh, no phones. The girls, a lot of times our student representatives share a lot of what I was going to talk about. We have Miss Anderson here to talk about the Hawaii trip. And I just have a couple things that I sat down and thought about. We have our Booster Club raffle that Mr. Ayers brought back last year. It will be held on February 15th at 5 o'clock on Facebook Live. So that was February 15th at 5 o'clock. Tickets are available in the office if you care to purchase those. We also have our high school athletes from all three seasons. They also have them around town to purchase. I want to send a special thanks to Mr. Ayers for putting all of those together, and also our very large Booster Club members, Carrie Martinson, Crystal Sievers, Chrissy Robinson, and our high school coaches. That's the extent of our Booster Club. So they are small but mighty and get a lot taken care of there. So that's a thing coming up for us. And then also on January 8th, we celebrate our high school alumni night. We had Mr. Ayers and Walter Owanski kind of shared in that planning this year. And they joined forces with girls basketball, boys basketball, any alumni wrestlers, pep band and choir members. They came back.
Sorry, Mr. Steltenpohl. We have an alumni here, cheerleaders.
Did I say cheerleaders?
Oh, gosh,
No,
no.
no.
I have it written here, cheerleaders. Okay. So, and cheerleaders.
I have to advocate.
There are a few of them. We had 57 returning people for them.
That's awesome.
Our stands were packed full of people on our side. The weather wasn't real great, and we were a little worried about the weather, keeping people in, but our whole side was packed full of people. The national anthem was sung. Our girls played first at 5:30, and our boys played after. National anthem was sung twice by alumni, some recent ones, some as far back as, I think Derek Coates was one of our singers from a few years ago, but a lot of them were just recent people. We had a huge pep band section that reached from the first floor all the way up to the top. So that was very cool and very loud, which was good.
I tell you to be quiet, but it wasn't working.
Great volume.
Yeah, but it was just neat. So I wanted to thank Mr. Ayers for combining all of those things. That along with Walter getting involved with that, with his note cards and lining everybody up. It just was a really cool night. And if whether the sports teams won or not, you walk out of there, you had to be smiling because it was just a pretty neat thing. So it's something that we look forward to doing each and every year. So thank you.
The Facebook Live Booster Club thing, was it done that way last year?
Yeah.
Really?
Last year, I believe, was the first time that it came back, and they'd used the Huddle camera last year,
Okay,
and I don't know that it was. Sometimes we got a lot of commercials, and you missed who was being picked.
okay.
This year, they're just going to run it straight from Facebook Live, so they shouldn't have any of those commercials. So,
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Steltenpohl?
Lots going on.
Yes. Moving on to the district administrator report. Again, Mr. Bino.
Okay, thank you. It is a busy January. Just very briefly want to follow up with what Shane said. Alumni Night was fantastic. So it takes many people to put on an event like that. So thank you to everyone who supported that and had a role in making Alumni Night great. It was outstanding. Moving back into our school, into the academic day, I just want to speak briefly about our next professional development day for teaching staff. That is scheduled for Monday, February 9th. Faculty K-12 will have time to work in their classrooms on curriculum development and preview upcoming standardized testing. So that is February 9th. Looking at our referendum, on January 6th, Ed Hoyer Elementary and John Edwards Middle and High School mechanical and electrical bids were published. That was on January 6th. They were published online for companies to see statewide. They're published January 6th. Final bids are due back from companies on January 29th. Last night, we hosted 8 companies here for a walkthrough. We had about a 2-hour walkthrough of the elementary, and we had about a 2-hour walkthrough of the high school. So we had 8 interested companies. They're interested in bidding. They asked a number of questions. Sean Ringer was here, our head of building and grounds, myself, CISA 10 had 4 staff here. It was just a very thorough, good walkthrough. So with that number of companies interested, we're expecting some very competitive bids.
Is that unusual to get that many companies?
I wouldn't say so.
Oh.
No, this is a large project.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Finally, I'll be participating in a Southwood County YMCA planning meeting. That is coming up at the end of January, January 26th. So Southwood County YMCA planning meeting. And Mr. Steltenpohl and I are going to be having a virtual meeting with members of the UW-Stevens Point STEAM program at the end of January as well, to see if UWSP can do further collaboration with our science, technology, and arts programs. So trying to build that collaboration with the universities. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions for Mr. Bino? Okay. We have a special guest tonight, actually several special guests. Something new that the district's doing. Port Edward School District Business Partner of the Month recognition.
Yes, I'd like to say welcome to all of our guests It's great to see so many people here in support of this award and in support of all of your coworkers and whom you work for, especially. Through a lot of conversations, we've realized that our school district benefits greatly from the businesses in our area. They support us very, very much. And no business any more than the business we're recognizing tonight. This evening, the Port Edwards School District would like to recognize El Cafe as our business supporter of the month for January. Since opening its doors in downtown Port Edwards, cafe owner Fidel has worked very closely with our school district through advertising sponsorships, donations, and also through allowing our staff to work there at the restaurant on fundraising nights. I'm very surprised that he never kicked me out the door. I think I was running waitresses over and dropping spoons and forks, and I'm glad I'm in education. I could never be a waiter. But thank you for allowing our staff to come down there, take over at times, and help fundraise for our school district. Fidel, since the day I've met him, it's very clear that he's a man of character. He's a very strong proponent of our school district. And he is always looking for ways to collaborate with us and support us. The Port Edwards School District is very proud to present El Cafe's owner Fidel with a plaque tonight signifying his business as our business supporter for the month of January. So Fidel, if you'd step over here, we do have a plaque saying thank you very much for all that you've done to support us. You're certainly welcome to this place wherever you'd like. Hold this.
Stay there.
Because more
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Fidel.
very
Pleasure is
And
definitely
done it
ours.
with all my crew.
We are so glad
Yes.
you're
I
here.
did today. I didn't even know.
You know, Fidel, I think with the comparison, Mr. Stumpo would probably agree. It's like, principals or superintendents without our teachers. We're nothing without our team, right?
Right.
So,
Yep.
thank you so much for all your support.
And Mrs. Winters is gonna take them on a tour.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Mrs. Winters is here tonight. She's one of our elementary interventionists. If you would like to see our school, she will give you a tour of our building.
Short, it won't be too long. Did you want that now?
Did you want-
You're welcome to stay for the meeting if you'd like, but I suspect you'd probably rather tour.
Yeah.
That's exactly up to you.
So,
Thanks to all of you for coming.
thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
very
here.
much.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very special.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Winters, do you know where all the lights are? Do you know where the lights are?
I'll find them.
You'll find it. Great, okay, very good.
Can she get in all the doors?
She has a master.
Okay,
She has a master.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you, Fidel.
Thank
Thank you so
Good
much.
night. Next on the agenda tonight, we have another special guest. Ms. Anderson is here to discuss the joint trip of our music students to Hawaii with Lincoln High School.
Yes. Are we able to throw some photos of
Yes.
her?
Yes, so if you wait just a moment, I'm
Okay,
gonna put the photos up that she shared with me. I think it's second one from the end. Perfect, perfect.
So as you guys know, for the most part, in December we went to Hawaii. We did a tour of Pearl Harbor. We marched in the Pearl Harbor Parade. We did a whole tour of the island, and of course I'll go through some of this a little more in depth as we go. But the kids had a spectacular time. They truly enjoyed it. They were all well behaved. They got along with Lincoln. It was just a fantastic trip. There was a couple hiccups here and there as far as luggage and things, but otherwise for the most part it went very smoothly for
Did all
such
the,
a large trip.
did all the instruments get there?
All the instruments got there. On the way home we lost one for a half an hour, but then they found it. But otherwise everything made it in one piece and it was good. I was pleasantly surprised because this is my first trip
Yeah.
that was out of state besides I guess Illinois, but
Yeah.
so it was a big one.
Yeah.
So I just have some photos that we'll flip through and I'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's warming up
Yeah, as it gets
there, just caught it.
but the weather was perfect. Like there was a little in Hawaii this time of year, there's little sprinkles of rain, but it would last for like 5 minutes, and then there'd be a rainbow. So it was like it was beautiful. It kind of cooled you off, and
Oh,
then
you were meant to be there.
yeah, it was lovely.
I was praying for rain and sunburns.
No one had sunburns when you got there.
Yeah, a couple kids had a little sunburn, but no one got really bad sunburn. That was the
That's
other thing I was
good.
really worried
And no
about.
one got sick.
Nope, no one really got
Wow.
sick. Maybe a little here and there, but nothing like bad that we had to go to a hospital or anything.
Yeah,
you know.
that's great.
But
I'm not sure why it's not catching the photos. It's catching my screen, but not the photos.
so in total, we took 161 people. So that was students, chaperones, and then parents that just decided to come with us. Anyway, so we took up the whole back section of 2 different planes. So that was interesting. Yeah, we had literally, you just look around and like, oh, I know every single one of those kids. I was like,
Did the people flying first class think they were being invaded?
no, we were like in the back of the bus. There was like, or the back of the bus, the back of the plane. There was like a section and then it was first class. But the kids were really well behaved on the plane. They were on the way there, they were super well behaved. And on the way home, it was an overnight flight, so they slept through most of it.
Perfect, fine.
So that was one thing I was worried. I was worried they would maybe get a little rowdy on the plane talking to each other, but it was over. It was good.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
that-
they were really.
that they got along so well with the Lincoln
Yeah.
kids. That's-
They did.
To mesh 2 groups like that, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Emily, we used this last night, it worked perfectly fine.
Of course.
Maybe we'll
Congratulations.
try your laptop.
Sure.
Yeah. I've got the photos on my screen, they're just not coming through for some reason.
So I'm not super.
Yeah, if you just pull them up and then I just have to plug this in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Should catch up. There we go.
Doesn't like you.
No. If not, I guess we can always just look at my computer.
Well, when in doubt, I have Lisa do it, and
There
there they are. There they
I
are.
can
So-
just flip through them.
Well, do you want me to do it?
Well, I can do it, I guess.
Okay.
And I'll just. Is it okay if I just stand right here?
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So, and some of them, you know, you can just look at them quickly. But here we are, getting ready to go on the plane, all excited in our Port Edwards gear. They all had to wear an orange shirt to the.
Is this Chicago?
This is in Chicago, yeah. So
Chicago.
we took
Okay.
a couple coach buses down to Chicago because it was a little cheaper to fly out of there than
Yes.
anywhere else.
Yes.
That was fun. Taking a whole bus because some of us were on a United plane and some of us were on an American. So
Oh.
and those terminals are really far apart, and the bus drivers weren't exactly where, but we they all got figured out. This is the first time when we landed. We got me and Noelle and Paige. A little photo.
And you flew into
Honolulu.
Honolulu.
So that was
Okay.
like a 20-minute, half an hour drive to our hotel, and they gave us. I was wearing a lei in that photo. They gave all the students a lei too, which was super sweet.
Yeah.
But the traffic there, terrible, horrible. But here we are on our tour around the island. This is Blowhole Lookout. So, and the reason they call it that is at some point, let's have a photo. Cute Brody and his mom. It's in the back of this, but there's like a whole chunk of the rocks that are missing. So when the waves come up, it shoots out kind of like a blowhole, and like it goes really high too. That's cool. And then here we are at Pali Lookout. Place that we just stopped on the way to the boys not really wanting to smile over the photo. Here we are all together, all the Port Edwards kids. They were sick of our photos afterwards. We stopped at a macadamia nut factory, and the kids had a chance to kind of crack open their own macadamia nuts and buy some and snack on them, and they really enjoyed hanging out with the rock. I didn't, but I let them crack mine open for me. Shaved ice is really big in Hawaii, so of course we had lots of shaved ice while we were down there. Then we went to the Dole plantation, so the kids got to see how pineapples grew. They got to buy some pineapple ice cream and see all that fun stuff.
They still have the drinking fountain there with the pineapple juice coming out of it?
No, I did not see that. I feel like, no. I feel like I would have known, the kids would have told me about that if I was there, so I don't think so.
I had a couple of people tell me about pineapples grow on top of shrubs.
Yeah, they do. Like
Yeah.
it's really weird because you look at it and you're like, that's comical. That's not how it really grows, right? And you're like, no, that is really how it grows. It's just kind of like a little,
On a bush, they
Bush,
grow them on top of a
and then the
bush.
pineapple just comes up the top. Really comical. This was a tree that they had at the pineapple plantation, and it has this beautiful bark. That's all natural. Boys with their ice cream. Here we are warming up for the parade, so we're getting ready. It was super warm this day, probably the hottest day, of course. So we kind of were trying to hang out in the shade while we were warming up.
How long was the parade?
It was a little over a mile. So we had a performance before the parade, like for the opening ceremony. And that we were in this whole, I think I might have a photo in here. We were in this big field, so there wasn't a ton of shade. But before we were able to stand under these trees. But then the parade actually took place at night, which was really nice. So we kind of got here right as the sun was getting lower.
You guys were worried about them having to go so far.
Emily, how many actual band members with a combination of?
We had just about 100.
100.
Yeah, total band
Wow.
students. And I think I threw that photo in here that we can see them. And then here we are right before the ceremony with the rainbow in the background. Jean and I together. Here's the whole band all together. So we had, and it was really cool too, because they gave us our own separate banners. So it's hard to read, but one says Lincoln High School and one says Port Edwards High School.
How
Or
special.
I should say John Edwards
Yeah,
High
so you
School.
can keep it.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
have our
it's
own
cool.
banner now, which is awesome.
And I was so concerned, I thought, how are they gonna do that with uniforms? But
Yeah.
smart, because you weren't gonna wear
Yeah.
uniforms, it was too
So
hot.
the pink T-shirt is actually a combination of red and orange, so made pink.
Okay.
And then I wore my T-shirt. I thought this meeting was last week, so I wore my T-shirt last week. But then it's Wisconsin, and it has little Blackhawk logos and WR for Wisconsin Rapids in it.
Cool.
So it was super cute. Whoever designed it did a great job.
Oh, that's neat.
So here we are at the parade at night. Here we are going to the parade in our little bus. And now here we are at Pearl Harbor to go over to the USS Arizona. We had to have a little, we watched like a movie kind of going, not a movie, but like a document.
Educational film.
Yeah, an educational film about it, yes. A movie. So while we were on the USS Arizona, they have the Tears of the Arizona. So right now the ship is actually leaking oil. So, and Mr. Miller told us about this before we went. So it was really cool. We were able to capture a couple photos of the oil kind of coming out. There are the kids at the memorial looking at it. There's the outside of the memorial. And then here's the USS Missouri. This is the ship that we played in front of. So the kids were walking in, we marched in. And then so we had the Arizona in the background with the Missouri.
So are
On
you
the
on,
other
are you on like a dock right there?
Yeah,
Is
we're
that
kind of on a dock right now.
parking lot, dark dock.
Yeah. So super cool. This is where we performed most of our music. We just kind of had parade songs, like 1-2 songs for the parade, but then we did like 7 songs there. And the kids had a chance to tour and go through the ship, which they loved. There they are on it. Cannons are huge.
Yeah.
There they are again, just looking at it. I think that's all the photos I have. So I have lots more photos, but I was like, I don't want to take too much time. But overall, a phenomenal experience. The kids
wonderful.
enjoyed it. They loved it.
Wonderful.
They learned a lot. And we also went, I didn't get a ton of pictures because I was too involved, I guess, but we went to the cultural center, so they learned about all of the different Polynesian cultures, and a lot of kids said that was one of their favorite parts.
Did you get
as
to
well.
go to a luau?
We didn't, but there was a dance afterwards. So they kind of, each island showed like their cultural dances, and then they had a fire. So it was almost a luau, but
Sure.
not exactly.
Sure.
So
What a great
Yeah.
experience.
yeah, it was phenomenal. So thank you guys for letting us
Yes.
go. And thank you for the Jasperson Foundation for contributing a
Their
huge
support.
portion of it.
Yes, yes. You don't do those things without a lot of support.
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Emily,
Emily.
for, this is above and beyond. And,
Yes.
thank you for all your time and effort you put into leading, organizing. This wasn't a vacation to Hawaii for you. This is your.
No, not when you got all that responsibility.
Now I have all the middle schoolers asking, so where are we gonna go when we're in high school? Are we gonna go to Hawaii? And I was like, we'll see.
Yeah,
Give me a year.
Yeah.
Thank you
least
for your
2.
leadership.
Yeah.
That was awesome, Emily. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emily.
Good night.
Grab the light. Or Emily, can you grab the light on your way out? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Questions and comments from people in attendance? Anybody want to address the board? No one? No one? Anyone? Okay.
I signed it.
Perfect, thank you. And so I
Moving on to the consent agenda. Consider approval of the minutes of the past meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The financials, are there gifts? We signed a couple of cards.
Yes, I have gifts, and also I did have a budget revision that was included in your packet, and so that was just, in the beginning of the year until Fund 21, with the activity accounts being involved, it's kind of quite a situation with that fund until after the audit's really complete, so in order to get the budget pushed through, it kind of just got put in one spot. So it needed now to be budgeted into, and so that's why you see so many account numbers there, so I just wanted to explain that. Gifts, yes. Through the Encourage Foundation, the community grant funds gave $100 for the fourth grade essentials. The Encourage Foundation, the Angle Fellowship gave $250 for the caring closet. And then our Lions Club had 2 donations, $700 for the harvest meal. And then once again for our Christmas cheer program, $2,125.
Oh,
Wow.
So
wow.
those are what I had for you tonight.
Were there 3 gifts?
Were there 3
Well,
cards or were there just 2
Or
cards?
were
There
there
was just
just
2.
cards?
Two,
But
two, I did
Lions had 2 and the
2
other one
in
had 2.
Encourage.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
there were
There we go. I wanted to make sure
2 for
we didn't,
each.
wanted to make sure we didn't miss
Oh,
anybody.
Right.
Okay. Consider a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we need a roll call for this?
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes. Aye.
Leo,
Aye.
John. Aye. Carrie. Aye.
Motion's approved. There is no unfinished business. Under new business, consider approval of open enrollment spaces for special ed and regular ed programs for the 26-27 school year.
Thank you. By Wisconsin law, every school board at our January meeting must designate for the following school year the number of open enrollment regular ed spaces by grade, as well as the number of open enrollment special education spaces by grade. We have determined these and worked with Mrs. Waltenberg, our special education director, to determine the number of open seats. We do have a number of open seats, of course, in regular education at each grade level. That's on the attachment. We are capped at 0 for special education, however. The numbers are accurate as presented to the board, and a motion is requested to approve it.
With the number of students projected coming into kindergarten, is that just based on what we have in 4K?
It's
So we
very,
really, because we really have no idea.
And
the
that's
number
really-
in January is very, very rough, and
Yeah,
it's
right,
typically
yeah.
very small.
Yeah.
So that's not an
Yeah, I
accurate
think
number.
last year was 19,
Okay,
you know, and so
Okay.
it's just, yeah,
And
it's,
kindergarten-
all we do is,
yeah, kindergarten enrollment just started.
Do they still do school censuses?
Yes, absolutely, the best we can.
As best, given the transient nature of
Yes.
populations now.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Pretty stable. It's pretty stable. We've declined slightly, but
we would have no reason to believe that there wouldn't be a 20-something kindergarten for next year.
no, we don't anticipate that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, upper 20s maybe. Yeah,
but we're saying we'll take
Right,
enough to.
right,
All
we
right.
can take.
Two.
Absolutely.
We have a
Yeah,
lot of
that's why
room.
we wanna keep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need an approval for these. A motion is in order.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by John,
Second.
second by Kathy. Approve the open enrollment spaces for special ed and regular ed as per the attachment. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Consider approval of the school district calendar.
The school calendar was emailed to our board members today. There's also a paper copy in front of you. I met with our calendar committee last week. Details related to the calendar have been a little bit fluid. They've been changing based on our construction schedule. The biggest thing I want to point out about our calendar for next year, you will see in September, our middle school, high school is on our draft planning to start on September 1st, which is very, very normal. Our elementary, however, we have been told by our CISA, we cannot start with children until September 8th, a week later. That is because of construction. Okay, our building is going to be off limits here all summer long because of construction and just the amount of time it's going to take to do all of the work here. So with that in mind, our elementary schools do not need as many hours of teacher to student contact as our middle school and high school, so our elementary can start a week later. This calendar presents 176 student contact days in our middle and high school, and with that 1 week later for the elementary, it's 172 days. These meet our hours of DPI instruction. If you add on 10 additional days, which we have for our teachers, that would put us at 186 contracted days for all of our teachers. Those 10 additional days are the 3 August in-service days, a floating August workday, 3 record-keeping days throughout the school year, and 3 professional development days throughout the year. Our calendar committee, consisting of elementary, middle, and high school teachers, we met last Thursday. This was what we agreed upon. I did speak with Mrs. Rubishki today. We looked at this final draft, and again, she's kind of one of our leaders on that committee. She agreed to this as well, and this is what we are bringing forward to our board tonight.
You can't start if they tell you you can't start with
be in
the
the
elementary
building.
school, so.
So, I'm
Any
looking for
questions?
questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the calendar for 26-27 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Next, discussion on proposed WASB bylaw change. I asked that this item be placed on the agenda for tonight. I don't know if you've looked in the current issue of the school news, the WASB journal that comes. But in Mr. Ross Miller's viewpoint column at the beginning, he gave considerable print to the delegate assembly and some rather substantive changes that are being proposed.
Mr.
Among them,
Tomskar,
yes,
that's under the policy resolutions.
right.
Yep.
Well, there's two different things going on here.
Yep, we're on the bylaw changes.
The bylaw change would amend the bylaws. I mean, you want me to go through this, or have you guys all looked at it?
This is related to the email that I received from the Kettle Moraine School District. I forwarded it on to our board members, I believe last Friday.
Right.
The Kettle Moraine School District asked that I'm kind of the conduit for the district and send it out to our board members. They are proposing a new limited active member tier. And within that email, there were attachments describing what their proposal is. So Mr. Tomskar, do you have any thoughts about that or anything you'd like to share
John?
about their proposal?
Go ahead, John?
At first, when I read it, I thought, no, I want everybody in,
Right.
as a
Same
member,
status,
full,
okay.
same status, but then, I saw WASP, was in favor of it, I think. I think I read that. I don't know if I did or not,
I don't know if did they say that they were in
I don't
favor of
think
it?
so.
No,
or maybe they didn't.
no, they,
But then, yeah, one of their points was, if you're gonna lose them they don't wanna be a full member, we're gonna lose them, then maybe this is a good idea to have a limited tier. You know,
and that's one of the arguments Kettle Moraine made.
yeah,
Yeah, they made some,
There's,
good
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, they make some good points because, you're guilt by association, you don't want, not that they're doing specifically anything wrong, but at some point, if they have a stance that's directly against something that our school district doesn't stand for, you're lumped into them as a group, and so to me, I appreciated their conversation on it because, you know, you can't just, you know, say, hey, yeah, we'll agree with everything that you guys, you know, put forth. Now, when there wasn't a choice, and as of right now, there isn't a choice, this is to make a choice.
Right.
I mean, I would be in favor of supporting them in their resolution that they're asking to be voted upon, just because I had thought of some examples earlier in the day, but of course, no blank. But, you know, if you're a member of a group and your group as a whole decides on something, you know, you're gonna automatically be lumped into that group decision, and it may not be your decision as well, it may not your point. So if it's ever an option, I would be definitely in favor of, you know, limiting, going to a limited membership. Now granted, you lose some of the voting rights, but, you know, I think with some of the regular volatility, sometimes somebody that's further away makes decisions that aren't really, you know, gonna be in conjunction with what our smaller northernish district would be, you know, wanting to promote, you know, so that was my feeling on it.
You know,
Kathy, you have a comment?
part of it, I think, is, and I felt this when I was teaching with the union, that there were some people that didn't want to join the union, but they still got all the benefits, even though they didn't join. And I don't know if that's really fair either. So, you know, I guess I've got mixed feelings about the whole thing. I don't know what the cost is for us to belong to the WASB, but if the WASB is the one that helps us get through problems or things that we have, I think it's only fair that we're being fully engaged with them.
Yeah, there's definitely two sides of the coin, there's no doubt.
Each board can decide by themselves if they wanna
Right.
belong fully or
Of your 420 odd school districts in the state, does anybody have a handle on how many are not WASB members?
I would say less than 2%.
Yeah, it's gotta be
It's
small.
a tiny amount. It's a tiny amount.
When you look at all the people that are at the,
There's so much strength in their organization. You know, it's somewhat of a safety net, insurance policy. There's so many
Wyatt?
resources.
I'm struggling with this. But what you say makes, that there's some merit to that. I have to confess that the first thing that crossed my mind when I read Mr. Ross Miller's was, this is 1954, Brown versus Board of Education, and a southern school district is suddenly told they have to let African American students enter their district. And the response in a great many cases was they shut down the public schools rather than do it. That's perhaps an extreme example, but I've always believed that there is more strength in unity than there is in disunity. And if there's currently only a handful of school districts that have not managed to maintain membership in the WASB for whatever reason, whether it's financial or representation conflicts or whatever, I'm getting the sense that it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not sure I'm supportive of Kettle Morane's position here. I just.
yeah,
we-
that's not gonna change.
You know, we have tried and tried and tried over the years to be a local control state. And the legislature has repeatedly seen fit to sidestep that and dictate what local school districts are supposed to do and then not give us the funds to do it. If their rationale for this is respect for district's right to determine if adequacy aligns with local priorities, so if a motion that the delegate assembly passes a local school district doesn't like, this would allow them to say that, well, we don't support that. 400 of the state school districts support it and we don't. I'd be curious as to what would produce a response of that sort. It says preserve organizational unity by preventing full withdrawals. I don't think there've been many full withdrawals.
And I don't know, I don't see that did they have a certain, point of interest that they were, breaking with the?
Well, they're not telling us that, but rest assured.
Okay, I just
there's
wanna
a-
make sure I didn't miss it.
No,
I
no,
didn't see
no,
any.
they did not,
I did not
they did not
see it.
specify that.
But
But
there must be
rest
something.
rest assured, something is cooking in Kettle Moraine that led them to do this.
Right,
I don't know what that is.
so I wasn't sure if I was the only one that didn't
No, no,
find
no,
that.
no, 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 it wasn't, it was
It
not
wasn't?
stated,
It wasn't in there.
it was not
Okay.
there,
It
not that I
states
saw.
they would like to, they would they would like to
Right.
forfeit their right to submit or vote on resolutions in the delegate assembly.
Right.
But at the same time, maintain full access to the convention, training,
Yeah.
policy and services,
Can't have both.
and the
So-
ability
so
to
they-
vote on bylaw changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The position is gonna be there no matter what, even if they don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Kathy's point, you know, from a union standpoint, when fair share went away, if somebody pulled out of the union's representation or didn't wanna pay their union dues,
you're out completely.
they, under this plan, you know, we still had to represent them.
Right.
Right,
No.
right.
In the days of master contracts, the bargaining agent, the union, represented everybody, even if you didn't pay the dues.
that's what
And,
we had to
and,
do.
and,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, well, you don't like a certain portion of the big organization's idea, but you want the benefits for it. All that they're giving up here is they wanna pull the portion of their dues out that deals with advocacy. But they want everything else.
Yeah, it's
They
not.
want all the benefits.
That just rubs me the wrong way. I'm sorry. I can't support that.
They still wanna,
You're gonna be
Yeah,
able to
I-
vote the way you want. We
I
can't
tend to agree
dictate to
with
you.
you. Go ahead.
I'm sure we can strong arm.
yeah,
So,
and they still want a portion of their legislative rights. They wanna vote on bylaw changes, but just not at the delegate assembly.
no,
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
There's a backstory here we're not getting.
Yeah,
I've got that
At
trouble.
some point that will come out.
I'm sure it will. Well, I'm sure that people in the
We'll find out.
southeastern part of the state know it and we don't.
Mhm.
So, is there anything else about that? We don't have to make
right.
any motions on any of this. We just have to kind of give you some guidelines.
It's absolutely.
Okay, moving on to the next one. The policy resolutions, of which there are always a bunch. In Mr. Ross Miller's article, he discussed three in particular. Revising the criteria that determine state school and school district report card scores and the process used to develop them. Maintaining the existing enrollment and income caps that limit participation in the statewide private school voucher program or parental choice, and establishing a statewide universal school meal program to cover the cost of all student meals not covered by the feds.
Can we talk about the school meals first?
You can?
You know, there is no reason in this country that we live in, with the amount of money that we have, that every child in school, in a public school, cannot have free meals. If Minnesota could do it, why can't every state do it? And I think we should be one of them that can do it. I mean, I know in our district, we don't have the problem because we take care of that. If somebody cannot pay for their food.
We're able to.
But not every school has that, and it is not fair. Kids know if somebody's given a different lunch because they don't have money in their account, and that shouldn't be happening.
Amen. I don't need to say anything else, you covered it. Derek, John, any comments about the school meals thing?
It's a small amount that, for, I mean, all the way back when we were in school, you paid, you know, whatever it was at the time, 50
Right.
cents a day.
Right,
Right,
You know, seems foolish that,
yes.
you know, of all the other larger numbers in the school budgets and everything,
Yes,
that this has continued to be, you know, again, a small item.
Something
You
we
mean-
charge for.
I mean,
Right.
in our
Right.
business, you know, people say, well, switch and go buy your gas from here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't matter where we buy gas. That's not the big number.
right, right,
You know, so
Right.
it's like buying gas for a company. It doesn't matter, you know, and that's, it always seemed weird. I think to spend more time and effort, you know, if it just got rid of it.
Yeah.
There would be
I mean, the
barely
paperwork-
It's not a
you
game
know,
changer in the budget.
No.
right, it wouldn't be a
Right.
game changer in our budget or the
Yeah.
state's budget or anything. And potentially could, you know, save some money because now you're not having to deal with all the
paperwork,
administrative
Yes.
We're not
costs
chasing
that's
people
associated,
for, right,
you know, and so it's one of those items that
streamlined.
it never, you know, it's not a taxpayer thing. I
Right.
mean, it's not, it's just not,
And it's important too.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
important and it's a
Help
children
small
like
Mental health, emotional wellness.
percentage, you know,
Absolutely.
why make people worry about it? And like
Yeah.
you said, we don't have to worry about it in our particular district,
right, right.
but there are other districts
That
where,
do.
that do, yeah.
And
so-
parents shouldn't have to worry about it.
No.
And,
Right.
you know, do they have to fill out that paperwork every year, Lisa?
So there's what's called direct cert, and if they
Okay.
qualify through direct cert, it's an automatic. If they don't, which there are people that still do, but
Okay.
because they're maybe not on Badger Care or what
Okay.
have you, that won't
Okay.
pop up. They just have to fill out a form,
Okay,
and then it's more based on your income,
sure.
and so they may get redo, you know, they still can qualify, and
Some
they still
people-
do.
Right.
Some people choose not to though.
But
And-
they choose not to,
Yeah, even though they could get the free
Right.
meal, yeah.
and
well, that's,
right, so then,
Sometimes
but then
those
then
families-
it's hard because they could be getting free, but they aren't taking the time to do that one little step.
Right,
Even if they've been previously on free.
Yeah.
But then they have a deficit in their account, and it's hard to, it's like, please just fill this out.
Just fill it out.
Yeah.
You know,
and it just
and if
give
everybody
everybody
did that
the
same
meal.
thing, then we'd really be in a,
Right.
then we'd be hurting.
Right.
If people
Right.
did, just decided, well.
Not
just
gonna
get
do,
paid.
not
I'm
gonna do
It's
the
just gonna
work.
run up a bill instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run up the bill.
Yeah,
And
You
some-
know, and thankfully, we're small and we have, that happens very, I mean,
Right.
very, it's a very,
Tiny.
very
yes,
small
yes,
number that
and
we
we
have
are
to do.
fortunate.
However, it is frustrating that there is a process for this to help you.
Yeah.
But you can't lead a horse to water,
Right.
right?
Right.
Or no, you can lead it, you can't
Yeah.
make him drink,
Right, you
sorry.
can lead a horse to water, you can't make a drink.
That's what I meant.
Yes,
Okay.
we know,
We knew exactly what you.
And that's what happens,
Right.
that is happening through the departments, through the food service and through our Infinite Campus person that
Yep.
is making sure that people get those things, and,
Yeah.
so.
It would
anything else
alleviate a
on,
lot of problems,
It would.
especially.
Yes.
anything
It
else on
would.
meals?
Go back to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump to the second one, maintaining the assistant enrollment income caps on the state voucher program. This has been a personal concern of mine for 30 years. I have absolutely no problem with quality private and parochial education. Most of those schools are well-run and provide good service to their children. If you wish to have a religious component to your child's education, that is wonderful, and I commend you for doing that. We might be better off if more of us did that. But public school dollars shouldn't be paying for children to attend a school with a religious preference. I'm sorry, it's just a separation of church and state. And if the current law is not amended and the caps come off later this year, all of the guardrails on eligibility and numbers for the voucher program are gone. And the hole in our aid bucket gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. Like I said, don't get me started on vouchers.
Yes,
It's been a personal stick in my craw for decades.
I mean, the public school financing has been lagging since 2009, and it's getting worse and worse. And everyone wonders, why is every school going to a referendum? They don't understand why this is happening. And I agree with Leo, nothing against private schools.
Nope.
And we've had private schools forever, and people choose that. If they choose that, then they need to pay. They cannot take our public money to pay for a private education. We wanted our kids to have piano lessons, so we paid for that. If you want your child to go to Taekwondo or to, specialized dance, you
Right.
pay for it.
Right.
And I have a real problem with it because the public schools do not get the money that we need in the first place. And now it's going to private schools, and that is not fair. They do not need to meet all the same requirements. They do not have to have licensed teachers.
Nope.
They don't have to meet the mandates. They don't have to do the school reporting. They don't have to take all children.
Nope.
It goes on and on and on and on, and it has to stop. And if we don't do something about it, we are going to be in worse shape.
The Milwaukee Archdiocese is building 2 new elementary schools this year. First new elementary schools in
Since the sixties.
since the sixties.
Yeah.
I could offer a supposition as to where the money is coming from to do that, but I don't have any evidence to support it, so I probably shouldn't say. So, it just strikes me as being oddly coincidental.
Yes.
I think.
They should have never started in the first place.
Well,
I knew way
exactly.
back when
Exactly.
they started it, that
It
it
was,
was gonna get
it was
worse
not
and
good.
worse. and
Bigger
yeah.
problem.
One of Wisconsin's
Yeah.
lesser claims to fame is that we were the origin of the school voucher world, which is now going everywhere.
Sure.
And lastly, I think we've pretty well explained our opinions on that. And last, revising the criteria that determines state school and school district report card scores and the process used to develop them. It seems like every 3 or 4 years, or every time we have a new superintendent of public instruction or a massive change in the legislature, the criteria change for how we get evaluated.
Right.
And if it's confusing for us, heavens knows it's gotta be confusing for the parents and the taxpayers. So settle on a plan and go with it, for goodness sake.
And achievement and student growth should be valued equally because I don't think that the general public that's not in the schools understands. You might have a child that's not doing very well, but they've made a lot of gains
They're
in
moving
1
forward.
year. And that should be part of this whole thing. So,
Every child, as long as they're moving forward,
Exactly.
you are accomplishing successes in school.
Exactly.
Yes.
and there are a lot of children that can't move as fast as someone else, and that should be taken into consideration.
They all start in a different point.
They do.
They all start.
They
in a
do.
As long as they continue to require these types of things, it'll never be right, because, like you said,
Politicians
a new
involved.
politicians.
Yeah.
Right, because
They don't understand the process.
they not only don't understand the process, but they hand it off to
Yes.
somebody else and says, okay, well, it's time, we need to revise this, so go ahead and revise it, and there's no oversight to it.
Right.
No.
And so that's just typical, but, a solution to it would be having each school district come up with their own plan and get it approved.
Yeah.
That would be a really easy way to do it, and make your case for why your criteria is good, and
And a lot of school districts have those, Carrie. They've
Yeah.
taken the state report card and kind of morphed it into their own criteria that they feel is important, but the state doesn't acknowledge that as the official
exactly,
report card.
that's my point, I mean,
Yeah.
just a quick sidebar, so.
Yeah, yeah.
For years, the state of Wisconsin, we have to do certain withholdings and sales tax and stuff on online, right? And a bunch of years ago, I mean, it was horrible, say 15, 20 years ago. It was just a very convoluted system that made us go to doing it online and going through it. And then, I can't remember, maybe 10 years ago, they had it perfect. It was streamlined, it was perfect. But then somebody new got in there, and so they hired somebody to redo it and make it crappy again. And you know, so that's my point to
Yes.
this, is that if it's working too good,
Somebody's gonna mess it up.
they just have to change it every so often.
Just for the
Because-
sake of change.
Exactly, and that is kind of
Yeah.
in line with this, and it just drives you crazy.
Yep.
You know, and the federal government don't be bad at that, because their side sucks like that, but that's totally different.
Okay,
There was one final resolution that,
there were actually two, the emergency one that came in the day,
just today,
and then the decoupling one.
decoupling, yes.
In the middle of Mr. Ross Miller's article, one resolution calls for ending or decoupling the link between a district's state aid and voucher funding. The other supports maintaining the current system. To my knowledge, having competing resolutions that are directly opposed to one another is an unprecedented situation. So, in the pile of resolutions that
John.
Mr. Damon has volunteered to wade through next week, God bless you,
You all have them in email.
Yeah.
Yeah. are items 10 and items 11, supporting decoupling and opposing decoupling.
They have to do number 10 first.
They go in order, and basically this says, this is another submitted by Kettle Moraine. The opposing decoupling was submitted by Nina and Wabatosa. In support of decoupling, they basically want they want separated funding for parental choice and independent charter schools from the school equalization aid formula, and instead supports the state taking full responsibility to fund payment for these schools. To decouple means that the general, I'm assuming the general budget of the legislature, non-educational, will support vouchers.
That's what that proposal is
I
stating.
believe the opposed to decoupling resolution wants to keep it like it
As
is.
it is, yes, that's
There,
correct.
there have been repeated attempts over the last several years to get a line item on our tax bills relative to what portion of your property tax is going to pay for your district's school vouchers.
Correct.
That has repeatedly failed. It has not come to pass. That would go a long way towards allowing the public to see
Yes.
just exactly what portion of the tax bill that you're paying is going out of the district to fund somebody else's private or parochial school.
Provide more transparency.
It would be a very transparent thing, but transparency is not a strong suit in some places, so that hasn't happened. I guess one school of thought says that by decoupling, you're hiding it. You're putting it into the general fund, and it's just another line item in a massive budget, which most people don't read, and they're only concerned about what the bottom line is. Leaving it the way it is not great, but at least the business people and the administrators and the parents who care to look at it in the local school district can go and see, okay, in the Port Edwards School District, what, 400 and some odd thousand is going out of the district to pay for somebody's vouchers.
Correct.
You would not be able to see that if the decoupling takes place.
That's correct.
Am I right? Is
I
that,
think you stated it accurately. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. It would make it a lot more, it's not even vague, it would be impossible to tell how
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you decoupled the two.
so,
That's 10. That,
yeah,
if they
decoupling,
approve that.
decoupling is 10.
yeah,
So
and if you approve
I'm
that, it would make it a lot more difficult.
To
I'm
tell how much
suspecting
the
that
vouchers, yeah.
the voucher supporters want decoupling
Correct.
because they can hide where the money is going. If people are not supportive of vouchers, they wanna leave it like it is and hope for greater transparency in some other form, so.
It's always the wording that's
I know,
like,
It's
Here's
not
that's by
part of the
design.
every day.
Yeah, I know.
By
That's
design.
why I
It's by
printed them out and
design,
had to
yes.
read through them one line
Yeah.
at a time, because I'm like,
What?
So if
okay,
you wanna continue to see how much money is leaving our district, you
Right.
are against decoupling.
and in the emergency resolution that was just forwarded to us by Mr. Bina this afternoon
Right.
from, Wisconsin Heights School District.
Yeah.
Did all of you see this?
I don't think I saw that one. It's
yeah.
an email?
Yeah, it just came today to my inbox
Yep.
from Wisconsin Heights. They probably had a board meeting last night.
Yep, that's what it said.
Yes, yeah.
Briefly stated, it relates to special education categorical aid and will be submitted to the WASB staff and appear on the delegate assembly's agenda. The resolution rationale are below. Create a subsection to 2.31 funding for children with disabilities to read, the WASB supports legislation to provide the additional funding that is necessary to meet the estimated special education categorical aid reimbursement rate when an original sum certain appropriation has been determined to not meet the biennial budget's reimbursement rate. Briefly said, and correct me, Lisa and Jim, if I'm not saying this right, the budget that was passed last year provided a 42% special education categorical reimbursement
Listed
listed in the budget
For this, for the new,
Yeah.
the new.
for this budget.
correct.
for the new budget.
Once, on November 15th, the DPI informed school districts that the sum certain appropriation for Act 15, last year's Budget Act, for that aid would not meet the agreed rate.
Right.
Therefore, the reimbursement rate was reduced to 35%.
Tell us one thing and then don't do it.
Once again, this categorical aid was a linchpin of the compromise in that budget, where the $4 billion surplus was returned in property tax relief, or in tax relief, and the governor signed off on this. Well, now the 42% is suddenly 35%. And the basis of this rationale and this resolution, which is called an emergency resolution because it was submitted,
Just,
November 7th is the deadline for submitting resolutions to be considered at the January convention. And since the state did not, the DPI did not inform anybody of this until the 15th of November, this has to come in for consideration next week as an emergency resolution because it didn't meet the timeline. So basically, this proposal says that they want the district, the resolution calls for the state to pay the 42% that they said that they were going to pay in the budget and pull that money out of the budget surplus or wherever they need to get it. Basically, the special resolution says, you told us in a compromised budget that everybody agreed to, it was going to be 42%. Now suddenly you're telling us it's 7% less than that. Provide what you said the agreement was.
right.
Simply put.
I did read it, I just remember I didn't have enough time to read it.
The reason thing is they underestimated the special education population in the state.
Well, look what happened in our district.
Which, right, and so what happened in our district with a significant increase in special ed, I mean, it's logical, you know, the special ed population has gone up significantly in districts all over the state, all over the country. They didn't underestimate that, but they had one pot of money set aside for special ed, and that pot of money is not large enough now. And doesn't sound like the legislature wants to do anything to make that pot of money larger. This resolution is saying, we need you to make that pot of money big enough to fulfill that 42% that you promised
It's still
in the
not gonna be enough,
in the
but
budget.
it's gonna be better than,
And I know that most business managers did not use 42% in
No,
their budget,
in their
but I know I
calculation.
use more than 35.
yeah.
Yes, we were in
Most people are
38,
using 38, 39.
38 or
Yeah, I
39.
mean, you were working with the
It does-
best,
Yeah, but everyone
we
pretty much knew
guesstimated.
there's no way in the world we're gonna get 42.
No.
However, nobody really thought we were gonna get
That's what they
35.
But by law, we're supposed to
Yeah.
get 42
Yes, and
by
then
law.
don't say
But-
that.
Yeah.
What are we teaching people?
know,
You can
but-
say something and promise it, and then you just don't have to do it. That is politics, and that is, ticks me off.
all right,
Backfill, yeah, backfill.
So backfill is
Yeah.
what we
Thank
need.
you.
Yeah.
We need our school districts. to
Yes.
get that
Remember
money.
all these, resolutions are just what we
Correct.
want WASB to do. It's
Right,
not,
to try to
It
do.
doesn't change the law,
Doesn't change
it
it.
doesn't change what
Right.
they're going to do, it's just our,
Yep.
The legislature's
They're
done a
gonna
wonderful
focus.
job of ignoring these resolutions for decades. I don't see this is gonna make any
Right.
sense, but
but
we
it's,
have to go on record of stating our case because we have to be advocates for kids.
Yes,
absolutely,
So,
it's the right thing to do.
all right.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all of your comments and contributions. I know we don't usually do this. We usually send John to
it's
the,
really good.
we usually send John to the delegate assembly with a large coin like the Super Bowl and tell him to flip. I've been in the
Yeah.
delegate
Yeah.
assembly and my tolerance for the goings on is much less than John's. You're a saint. God
You just
bless
talk
you.
to the person next to you. What are you
Yes,
gonna
yes,
do?
yes. What are you gonna do with this? You know, is there anybody who has anything additional they wanna comment about tonight, or can we?
now that
go
we're
on?
all riled up and won't be able to
Are we,
sleep.
are we good? Kathy?
Good in regards to that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy, you have something?
Just wanted to say that the support cart seems to be really doing well, and I'm so pleased
Yeah.
because it was a dream. I got that idea last year at the state convention. I'm not
Thank you,
going for
Kim.
any more ideas this
Thank you.
year.
That's all right. I get ideas like that.
Because they keep me awake at night.
Oh, true.
But yeah, I mean, the community has been very, very supportive, and thank you to the board members that have helped out already because it takes a lot of people to get it done.
Yeah.
But
Kathy has spent, I'm just gonna toot your horn a little while,
you don't
Kathy.
need to toot my horn.
She spent hours and hours organizing people, having meetings. Mrs. Hoyer purchased carts, I think, for both buildings?
Yes,
For both buildings. And we have wonderful, retired people coming in once every few weeks and going through all the classrooms and giving treats and goodies to all the teachers and all the staff. And with that message of, we support you. Thank you for being here in Port Edwards. And, it's awesome. You know, it puts a smile on all of our teachers' faces and it gets community into our buildings, seeing the good things happening in our classrooms. So thank you so much for leading it, organizing it, and to everyone involved.
so I'm gonna be after you to do the cart sometime.
Yeah. And you get great treats if you do. These are really cool.
I'm willing to do it since the beginning.
Yes.
John, anything else?
No, just thanks to Emily for doing a great job with all the kids and the program and the trip and all that. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second that from John. I mean, not just Emily, but we have a number of teachers that go above and beyond, with their programs, and it's really nice to see in a small school, where you just go with it and get to give these students some experiences that they just won't have. So maybe everything's not to Hawaii, but,
That's pretty darn special.
right. There's just a lot of groups, I mean, where they get to compete and, compete very well.
Very well.
Very well,
For
and
a
do
school our
very
size.
well
Yep,
in a lot of these competitions, whether it's HOSA or whether it's
math,
math league, whether it's
Music.
forensics, whether, you know, there's just so many different groups and we have teachers that have taken it upon themselves to be just really great people to lead those kids. And it's pretty cool when you get a recognized as statewide for some of these competitions. I mean, because not everything's about sports. I mean,
right.
to get first in forensics, I mean, or golds. I think you get 3 chances, 3 golds. I mean, that's pretty much high tier. So
I'm waiting for the day that one of our group's band or choir performs at the
State
state
convention.
We talked
convention.
about that today.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are as good as, I don't
We
care, we might be smaller, but we're
yeah,
good.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just excellent always to see every week, or every month I should say.
Add one little thing,
Yeah.
Mrs. Mensch has the Visual Arts Classic coming up. She started that, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, for all of our art students. visual.
Yeah,
So
right,
they
yeah.
compete at state too, and
Yeah,
we just have a
exactly.
big variety of
I mean, I can't sit here and name them all. Because
Yeah,
there's
no.
there's a couple dozen different
So many
groups
great
that
things we're doing,
are led with such great
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
so many great things.
I agree.
It's good to see. That's it.
Amen to everybody else. I have nothing to add.
Okay.
See, I can do that.
He's doing that because I'm sitting
I was
here.
just, okay, so what
That's
did
his
you?
checkpoint.
Miracles never cease.
Do I have to
Coming
come
every
every
month.
It's Christmas miracle.
Where are you guys supposed to be?
Check
Where are you
graduation.
supposed to be at, right?
Got an
We,
appointment.
we have established future board meetings for Monday, or excuse me, for Wednesday, February 11th. Closed session at 5 or business at 5:30 if needed.
March
I will call
March
for,
11th would be the next one.
March would be the next one. Do you wanna set that or do you wanna wait?
March
We'll
11th.
set it.
March 11th? All right, we'll let March 11th as the follow-up. And we'll call for adjournment
So move.
Second,
at 6:44.
we did a lot of stuff in that.
We did.
We did. Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And this is going to Mary Pointers.
Oh, yes.